Hello my frugal friends, welcome back to our place for another what's for dinner video. Now, if you guys actually checked out my last video, which was a grocery haul video, you would have seen that I bought a ridiculous amount of potatoes. So we've actually got 2 bags of these Odd Bunch potatoes. They are one of my favorite buys. If you can get them at Woolies, it's 4 kilos for $6.50, which is actually pretty good at the supermarkets. You can get them a little bit cheaper if you've got a fresh fruit and veg place around you, but this is a pretty good buy at the moment for us, so we have stocked up. So in today's video, I'm actually going to share with you some of our favorite potato recipes, some of the things that we're actually cooking up in the van for dinner, but they're all going to have one thing in common. They're all going to have potato in them. All right, tonight's dinner I'm actually pretty excited about because we are on power and water at the moment, which is a bit of a novelty for us. It doesn't happen very often. So I am actually going to use my pressure cooker and my air fryer to do the potatoes and the veggies for dinner tonight. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sort out our potatoes. So I've got some that are basically the same size, and I'm going to cook these in the pressure cooker. It makes it super easy to do a whole potato. What I found is working really well is these big guys take about 25 minutes. Medium sort of sized ones take about 22 minutes, and these little guys here, they're only taking maybe 15 or 20 minutes depending on how small they actually are. So I do try to pick a bag that's sort of got the same sort of size, although it's not always easy, just so it makes cooking a little bit easier. But I'm going to go rifle through, see if I can find 4 potatoes that are big and about the same size so that they all cook at the same time. And let's get them in the pressure cooker, and we're going to cook some whole spuds. All right, so this is what I've ended up with in my bag. I reckon these guys here are going to take 25 minutes, but there's only 3 of those. These will take about 22. I've got a few of those in there, 22 minutes. And then these ones here are pretty small. These are probably only going to take 20 minutes max. So what I'm actually going to do is cook these guys up tonight. I'll see how many I can actually fit in my pan in a single layer, and that's what I will cook in one go. All right, so I've got 6 in here. I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of water, not quite a cup, and we'll go get this in the pressure cooker. All right, our potatoes are finished in here, and I just let it do a natural release so we can get into these guys. And there are our potatoes. All right, there we go. Potatoes in, and we'll give them 10-15 minutes until they're nicely browned. All right, while the potatoes are going outside in the air fryer, I'm going to pan fry some veggies. So I've just pulled out some broccoli and some cauliflower frozen. So I'm going to get those going in my big Curtis Stone pan. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of garlic salt over the top, just a little bit. We're going to cook those off in the pan. Then once that's done, I'm going to transfer these guys to the air fryer as well with a little bit of nooch. All right, and these are our potatoes. How good did they look? So I'm going to get these out of the air fryer, and then we're going to get the veggies in. All right, so these guys have been cooking away over here. I am just going to sprinkle on a bit of nutritional yeast that is hiding in our old Parmesan container. So this is going to give it a really nice cheesy flavor. I actually got this idea off Broccoli Mum. I love her stuff. If you guys haven't checked her out, she's awesome. So I'm going to give these a quick toss, and then I'll chuck in a little bit more of the nooch, and we'll get it in the air fryer. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see, but a little sprinkle of nooch, or not a little sprinkle, good coating, and we're going to go get this in the air fryer for 10 minutes. All right, and there we go, all plated up. So there's our cheesy or nucci veggies that have been air fried. A couple of jacket potatoes there with some hummus. So this is Shan's bowl. He's got 2 potatoes. Me over here in the back. Looks pretty good. Nice crispy veggies. I've got Charlotte down here. She's not into the hummus just yet, but we're working on it. So she does have a little bit of Nuttalex on her potato, but how's that? Looks pretty good. All right, we've got another air fryer special for you guys tonight. So these are some potatoes that I have cooked in the pressure cooker again, just like I did the other night. We are going to fry those off again in the air fryer. So that part of it is all exactly the same as what we did a couple of nights ago, but I'm going to top it with a bit of a chili type situation going on. So we've got some Mexican style 3-bean mix, and to that what I'm going to do is make a bit of a chili basically. So we've got some chopped tomatoes. To season it, I'm going to throw in some garlic, some pre-diced up onion already over here. We'll chuck on a bit of the old smoked and charred Texan style rub, and I'm going to throw in a little bit of barbecue sauce as well, pretty much because I'm just trying to use that one there up. Veggies, we're going to go in with some corn, some grated carrot, some diced capsicum. That's all going to go in the chili together. That's going to simmer away and be lovely. And then to top it off, we're going to put some fresh stuff on top, which is going to be some avocado and some more tomatoes. I'm just going to chuck some cherry tomatoes on there as well, and I don't know, maybe a little bit of nutritional yeast, and that's pretty much going to be it. But it's basically chili on jacket potatoes. All right, so we're going to start by frying off 1 onion and 1.5 heaped teaspoons of garlic. It's going to give these a couple of minutes before we start getting everything else in the pan as well. All right, so throwing in the red caps now. Sorry, this video is going to be pretty noisy because I've got the exhaust fan on, I've got the air conditioner on, it's all happening. I'm just going to quickly cook the red caps off. They won't take too long. All right, in with the chopped tomatoes. Almost forgot I was filming there for a second. Get that mixed together. And carrot. Get that in, mixed around. Might chuck just a smidgen bit more water in, like 1/4 cup. And then I'm just going to let these veggies all cook off. The beans don't really need too much. Depends how mushy you like the beans, I guess. The longer you cook them, the mushier they get. We are pretty hungry, so I'm not going to muck around with this too much tonight. But a tiny little bit of water. So, I don't know, maybe 1/4 cup. So we can keep mixing this around. All right, I am going to chuck the lid on this and just let it simmer for like 5 minutes. I'm going to go in with 2 teaspoons of seasoning. Doesn't really matter what you use. I've got this, so I'm using it. Smoked and charred Texan style rub. All right, mix that through. And I'm going to give it a pretty good squeeze of the old barbecue sauce. Probably, I don't know, maybe like 1/4 cup by the time I'm finished. But mix and squeeze again. Barbecue sauce round 2. Very technical as always with the measuring, but that's how we roll. All right, so we're going to throw in 1 cup of corn, mix that through and see what it looks like. I'm probably going to do 2. All right, so that's 2 cups of corn. And the beans, which I have rinsed and drained. Get the last of that out in a sec. All right, so mix this through. Let this all warm up. This is the chili part. So these are going to cook in the pan here while I go and turn the air fryer on and just cook off the potatoes. Just going to give them 10 minutes till they're nice and crispy. And this is going to finish cooking. And we'll start putting it all together. Rightio, I found a pretty sad and sorry looking fresh tomato in the fridge that was looking pretty on its last legs. We weren't going to use it in a salad or a sandwich or anything like that, so I'm actually just going to cook that up and chuck that in there as well. This is such a good meal just to use up like whatever you've got. You can change all of this around. If you guys don't like beans, I've made this with mince in the past. I've made it with TVP. I mean, it's just so flexible. Chuck in whatever veggies you've got. There's no hard and fast rules. The barbecue sauce makes it really nice and sweet, so it's usually a hit with the kids. And it's quick. While that's all happening, I'm going to mash up half an avocado with a squeeze of lime juice, and we're just going to throw this on top at the end. Very untechnical measuring again. Whoops, definitely need 2 hands for this job. All right, so these are our air fried potatoes. They look pretty good. Just gonna dish a couple of these up. All right, I'll show you guys what we've got going on here. So I'm gonna dish our potatoes up. This is the chili, and we've got the avocado, and I have pulled out the nutritional yeast. So if you guys have got Parmesan or whatever other cheese, grated, tasty, it'll all work fantastically. Alrighty, and there we go. So Charlotte's got no avocado because she doesn't like it. A little bit of nooch on top. Everybody else has got a spud with some chili, a bit of avo, a bit of noochy cheese goodness. There's a really ridiculously big serve over here as well. But there's heaps left if anybody wants to come back and have some seconds. And this will be really good leftover just on some rice or whatever. Pretty versatile, very nice. But they're our jacket potatoes with chili. Today we're going to do a potato salad with a bit of a different take on it. So I actually have these pre-cooked boiled potatoes. I did these in the pressure cooker because we were on power, so that's a quick and easy way to do it. I will also just cook them in my Eco Pot, which is a thermal cooker. You can just boil them on the stove. It doesn't really matter. It's just what's quick and easy. So if we are on power, the pressure cooker just does it really quickly in like 20 minutes, and then I can chuck a big container of them in the fridge and then they're ready to go. So pre-cooked, these ones, like I just said, 20 minutes in the pressure cooker, and then I'll chuck them in the fridge and cooled down. So we're going to use those up today, making a big old salad, potato salad. So the dressing will be hummus based. I'm going to thin it out with some lemon juice, and I'm going to throw in a little bit of mustard as well, which I think will be really nice. And then for all the crunchy salady veggies that are going to get mixed through it, I've got a red onion. The other thing that is really nice is spring onions. I had a look at the price of spring onions, and let's just say we've got a red onion because the spring onions were not affordable. A red cap that needs to be used. I'm going to throw in some cucumber, I've got some sugar snap peas that were marked down that need to be used up. I'm going to throw those in. They're going to be nice and crunchy. Chuck in some tomatoes and some corn. So a little bit different than the way we used to make potato salad with egg and bacon and all those sorts of things. We've got lots of nice crunchy yummy things. It's cold, so it's going to be beautiful on a hot day. Let's get into it. For this sauce, I've got probably a cup of hummus here, and I'm going to go and throw in 2 teaspoons of, this is a seeded mustard, and then enough lemon juice to make it a fairly runny sort of consistency, so it coats fairly easily. I don't know exactly how much it's going to be. Let's just sort of feel this out for a little bit. We'll mix it together, and then when it's the right consistency, we'll know. All right, so I haven't added anything extra, and I reckon this is about right. It's not runny, but it's not sticking to the spoon either, if that makes sense. So, right, it just sort of drops off. So that's what we want. Well, that's what I want anyways. I'm going to set this aside. We'll start chopping up the veggies. I've got 7 medium-sized potatoes here that I'm just going to cut into, you know, your old bite-sized pieces. So I'll get those cut up and into the bowl, and then we'll coat it with the sauce. So just going to go in probably with about half of this to start off with. Toss it around and see how much more sauce we want to add. All right, it looks pretty good. They're all coated just a little bit, just enough. And I've still got a little bit left over for dressing. I probably used a little over half. So potatoes, if you can just see, just have a nice coating. And we've got a little bit left to put on top of each bowl after we dish up. All right, so I've got half the onion diced up that I'm going to put in, and all of the red cap. I'm going to chuck in a can of corn kernels, which I have just rinsed. We've got half of the cucumber, about half the bag of the snow peas diced up as well to go in. So these will just go back in the fridge for another meal. This is how I store the cucumber, if anybody's interested. I save the plastic, wrap it back around it, and tuck a lacquer band on it. Saves wrapping it in Glad wrap. All right, let's get these guys in. And last but not least, I've got about half a punnet of cherry tomatoes diced up. We'll get those in there as well. Give that a mix through, and we're all done. All right, and there we go. All plated up. We've got 3 serves here, and still got a fair bit left in the bowl. And then just to finish it off, I'm going to just drizzle a little bit of the leftover sauce over the top, and that's it. Alrighty, tonight we're going to do mash and gravy. So I'm going to cook up the last of the potatoes. I'm going to chuck those in the pressure cooker just so they can cook outside, and we're going to do some gravy with onions and mushrooms. I was going to say marshmallows, they're not marshmallows, mushrooms. And I'm just going to do some veggies on the side, and I'm just going to use frozen veggies. Totally not complicated. I'm just picking these because this one's open in the freezer, but this works great with whatever veggies we have that needs to be used up, and it's always the same sauce with some onion and some mushroom. Now, the only thing I will say is that this is not the gravy that we use. This is just the container that the gravy lives in. I will show you the gravy that we actually use in a sec. I'll stick it up on the screen. It is buried at the back of our pantry, so I'm not going to dig it all the way out. It is the massive, big Maggi rich gravy. It's really awesome, and we just keep it in this small container and just top this one up as we need to. But that's the actual gravy that I am using if you want to do the same thing. Now, we usually find that at IGAs in the big container, but you might be able to pick it up at a few other places as well. But anyways, dinner tonight, mash and gravy. Gonna be awesome. All right, potatoes are cooking outside. I've got 8 medium-sized mushrooms chopped up here, nice big pile. I've got 1 whole onion sliced. We'll get those cooking. As you can see, I've used maybe half the packet of mushrooms. We're gonna get these guys in a frying pan. The mushrooms and the onions are cooking away on the stove. We're on power at the moment, so I'm thinking these guys, I'm just gonna nuke them and chuck them in the microwave and cook them that way, which is gonna be a lot quicker and a lot easier. Half a bag of veggies, give those, you know, a couple of minutes in the microwave until they're done. Too easy. Right, so I've just taken the mushrooms and the onion out of the pan, and we're going to start doing the gravy. So I'm going to start by chucking in 1 cup of water. I'm going to get all of those lovely flavors off the bottom of the pan, and then we'll start mixing in the gravy powder. Throw in 2 tablespoons of the gravy powder. Right, whisk this in, and then I'm going to add another cup of water to it as well, but I'm just going to get this mixed first, and then I'll get the rest of the water in. Alright, so the trick with this one is just to bring it to the boil, keep stirring it, it'll actually change colours when it's done, and it'll be a lovely dark gravy and thicken up. Just a couple of minutes of simmering just like this, and you're going to have beautiful thick gravy. And there's our potatoes cooked. I have just strained them, popped them back in the pan, and I'm going to go ahead and mash those. I'm going to add a little bit of soy milk, and that's pretty much going to be it. Alright, for something a little bit fun, I'm actually going to add some nutritional yeast to our potatoes, just to give it a bit of a cheesy kick as well. Alrighty, and there we go. We've got a massive pile of mash, lovely gravy with mushrooms and onion, some veggies on the side. So good. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time here with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video and found it a little bit interesting. If you did, as always, if you could please give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. It lets me know the kind of content you guys are enjoying and what you would like to see more of. And if you would like to see more videos like this and you haven't already hit that little subscribe button down below, now would be a great time to do that. Well, I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic week, and I do hope to catch up with you in my next video. Until then, take care. Bye.